Hi, beautiful people. I hope you're doing well out there. It's been a while since we last saw each other, so I'm very happy to see you guys again. And I hope everyone enjoyed the holidays. And I want to wish everyone a happy Gregorian New Year and may all your wishes come true. So, welcome back to my channel. My name is Astrid. I'm a Western astrologer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel because 2025 will be a spectacular year. A lot of important astrological transits are going to take place, and they will definitely leave a very big mark on the world. But more on that later because today we will talk about Mars retrograde in the sign of Cancer. And Timothy says, hello, Astrid. Welcome back from Senegal. Thank you for this. Well, thank you so much for joining, Timothy. I'm so happy to see you again. And we're going to jump right in it. And I'm going to start with sharing my screen. So, yesterday, on the 6th of January, Mars entered the sign of Cancer. So, this period is connected to October the 5th through November the 3rd. Anything that happened back then can come up again right now. So, Cancer is actually the sign of the people, the home, the family, and your clan. So, Mars can indicate a little bit of tension and violence about race, about between clans, and fights about immigration as well. And Cancer is a very emotional sign because the moon belongs to Cancer. So it's about our vulnerable emotional side. And with such a harsh planet, Mars in that sign, it could feel a little bit harsh, a little bit of tension. It's a very difficult combination, these two together. So before I dive deeper into the Mars in Cancer, let's look at Mars in Leo and how that has been affecting us since a month ago. So let's look back. It actually all started with the government of Germany collapsing when Mars started to slow down a month before the retrograde. So that was like a big kickoff, even before Mars slowed down. And 3 days before the retrograde, on December the 3rd, the president of South Korea attempted to impose martial law. So that was also part of the retrograde. Then 1 day later, on December the 4th, the government of France collapsed as well. And then on December the 6th, the day of the retrograde, the Romanian court declared the results of the presidential election invalid. We also had protests in Georgia because there was like a pro-Russian candidate winning the election. And then after that, of course, we had everything happening in Syria, all the rebels that were fighting against the regime of Assad since 2011, and they caused it to fall as well. And we also saw a lot of trade tensions escalate between China and the US. And of course, last but not least, is the latest news, Justin Trudeau's resigning. So I guess there have been a lot of parties going on in Canada as we speak. So yeah, we see this repetitive theme of actually the government having to adapt big changes around the whole world, actually. And of course, we are currently also dealing with the Pluto-Mars opposition, and I will show it in the chart. Because, of course, it's also because of this aspect. It is adding a lot of tension to the retrograde right now. And on January the 3rd, this aspect got exact for the second time. And it's actually been going on since November. And now we have 2 out of 3 exact oppositions. And the third one will happen at the end of April. So Pluto-Mars aspects, whenever these two meet, these are difficult because Mars is anger and conflict. And Pluto is the planet of extremes, of control, of destruction. So yeah, when they meet, it releases like a very brutal and harsh energy. So Pluto also signifies journeys to the underworld. And when they meet, it's like a case of extreme violence, of hidden tactics. It's like a quality of energy, like volcanic eruptions, explosions, and like total destruction. And that's also what we are like noticing now as a global theme. So it's important for us on a personal level that we find an outlet for these strong energies so they don't blow up in our face. And that's also, of course, having to do with the Mars retrograde that we saw in Leo, but now it jumped back into Cancer. So Mars is like the planet of action rather than reaction, but in the sign of Cancer, these two get mixed up again because Mars in Cancer can get very, very reactive. And because of the reaction, it comes forward from like its emotional attachment in the sign of Cancer. So Mars is in fall here. It does not like to be in the sign of Cancer because Cancer is like the home, or in mundane astrology, it resembles the nation, the masses, and the people. So our safe space, Cancer, is actually compromised here by the combative energy of Mars. And people will feel this tension again. People will feel again more frustrated, more irritated. So expect like a lot of emotionally charged actions that are going to stir up conflict. And even in its lowest and darkest manifestation, it can also resemble like aggression at home. So the best way to draw up from this energy is to protect or fight for those you love, defend your family, and really like release the mama bear energy in a protective way. Because you need to be very, very careful right now about starting conflicts, because we need like a long time to fix them. And I think we will need to fix them up until April, whenever Mars leaves its shadow phase. And to be honest, if you fight now, it may not exactly turn out the way you want it to be. So pick your battles very carefully. It's not the best time to start making enemies, and it's very, very important not to be the instigator of unnecessary conflicts, because they really might come back to bite you in the... So the good news is if someone like attacks you or starts a conflict with you, you can like really draw up this energy to defend yourself, and that energy can be quite, quite strong. So those who will defend their position have like a greater chance of winning the battle than those who go on the attack right now. And in these next couple of months, and actually it's been going on since October, this time really is showing you who is willing to fight for you. And a lot of masks are dropping, and people who don't have their best interests, people who don't have your best interests at heart, they will be like exposed. And that can be people that you're very, very emotionally attached to. So it can be like very hurtful. But the universe is like showing you where you need to adapt, where you need to change strategy in order for you to get like rid of the underlying tension that was probably already present before the retrograde. And any underlying tension or unhealthy dynamic just holds you back energetically. So try to be grateful if people do decide to leave your life during this time. It just means that maybe some karmic assignments are probably fulfilled or completed right now. And if that isn't the case, they will definitely return to you in late spring to wrap things up or to smooth things over. So just be mindful that not everyone is destined to keep fighting by your side for your entire life. So whenever you do end up in a conflict, try to look at it from a spiritual perspective and don't let them bring you down, even if it deeply hurts. Mars is like a very, very malefic planet and can really, really hurt someone physically, but also mentally by harsh words. So Natalie says, Welcome back. It's good to see you. I hope you enjoyed your journey and a very beautiful 2025. Hey Natalie, that's so sweet. I'm very very happy to see you again as well. And yes, I really enjoyed my travel, but with this Mars retrograde, it was a very very wild adventure to be honest. But it really taught me a lot of important life lessons, and I'm actually even more grateful for my life here at home. And it's like really, really showed me how how fortunate and how blessed we are here. Even though it's not always easy, it is like nothing compared to what I've seen there. So I think that's something very good to take with me. So thank you, Natalie. Then another very important topic is alcohol, because cancer is liquids and Mars. Do you still hear me? Because I can see my. Okay, something happened to me, but okay. Yeah, okay. This Mars retrograde, the internet connection just fell out, but I hope you can still hear me. I was talking about alcohol and how these hot inflamed liquids can like really set yourself up for war during this time. So you need to be very, very careful about drinking alcohol and be very, very mindful about how much you consume. And the remedy for the Mars retro and Cancer is like a good way to like ease off this tension is to do sports that are connected to water, like swimming, surfing, or wakeboarding. Then let's see on a mundane level. So on a mundane level, Cancer resembles the clan or the ethnic group, and with Mars, this can point towards like violence between them. Think about the conflict in the Middle East, but also think about race and your skin color. And I think we will definitely see protests about that in the US, because the US has a lot of planets in Cancer. They have a stellium of Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus all in their chart of the nation. So We will see like a rise up and conflict during the full moon in Cancer that we're going to have on January the 13th. And the full moon will also aspect Uranus, and that's like the planet of shocks and surprises. So if you're from the US, try to like avoid big crowds during this time, because people will be very emotional, reactive during the full moon in Cancer, because it will closely conjunct Mars. And what I also think on a mundane level is that I think that the conflict, or like the style of conflict, will change. Battles will be taking more to water right now. And the masses, Cancer, will revolt or make demands to try to like defend or improve their rights and their territory. And matters of patriotism, interests of the nationals and the citizens will like escalate, and that will then lead to solutions. Is the land domestic terrorism or civil unrest. Mars in Cancer, it is also likely, and that's also a theme that has been popping up in the last couple of weeks. So I hope this doesn't. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. There's something wrong with my cable from the. Normally, I have like internet through the cable directly into the computer, because that's like most stable. But right now, there's something wrong with it, so I switched to Wi-Fi, and I hope this will work now. I'm an Aries, so this Mars in Cancer, it's like jumping in the fourth house of home. So it's giving me some frustration right now. How funny that this happens now. It's like a very direct manifestation of this energy for me. So I hope you can hear me again, and I hope the rest of the video will work out on Wi-Fi. So to continue, on a health level, Mars in medical astrology rules the muscles, the arteries, blood, cutting, bruises, and Cancer rules the stomach. It's our belly. And for the females, our breasts, because that are the parts that make us feel nurtured. And during this time, all the way until the end of February, we can see more problems with that. And Lakeside Laura, hi Laura, Happy New Year to you too. Very happy to see you. And Aries strong, yes, Aries, like the Aries need to like really make sure that they are keeping their power, because with the Mars retrograde, it's like slowing down in energy and life, or a build up in tension and frustration. So if there are any other Aries here, let me know how you have been experiencing this. Apart from my Wi-Fi and internet connection that's been doing weird, I have no other conflicts. So I'm happy that my battle is with the Wi-Fi at the moment. So then let's continue. For the US, there's like something special going on, and something special that will like also influence the rest of this retrograde, because there has been something going on about like the ownership of your home title, because Cancer rules our home, Mars is conflict, there is like a little bit of a new scam popping up in the US about the ownership of your home title. And I've like read that the FBI has set up a task force to like investigate the scam of people that are stealing others' home title. And like it's very very important during this retrograde that you like protect your house, and not only like with cameras or like with an alarm, but also like home title security measures need to be taken, because they can like steal it from you in the digital space right now. Scammers can like access your home equity by filling out some fraudulent documents with the county, and the county doesn't have to verify it. They can like steal it and go use it for other purposes. So your property records, they are public, so anyone can like access that. And you'll probably won't notice that someone has stolen your home title until like some unpaid loans or bills or like foreclosure notices start to arrive in your mailbox. And then is the damage is like already done and leaves you with like a legal and a financial nightmare. So I think this will be a very big one as well, because it's about conflict in the home environment. And a way to prevent is this is to like install a home title lock. And I think this would be interesting for people for the US to like take a closer look at it. Because it's like you need to like add an extra layer of protection, and they will like monitor your property records, and they will like alert you whenever something changes with that. And they will like also help you whenever it gets stolen, or they like help to restore you some things. So I think that can be interesting for people from the US, because I've heard some rumors and some people talk about it. And I think that is like very, very specific for this Mars retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So then let's switch over to the mini readings for the 12 signs. So I'm gonna now highlight your chart. From your Leo house, I'm gonna look to your Cancer house and how it like jumps back and forth from it. So we will now go from like our ego and showing ourselves on stage, Leo, to our emotions and the vulnerable side of life, Cancer. It's from seeking validation to valuing emotional connection, and from being public to being private. It's like from being masculine to the more feminine side of life. And the retro in Leo was like to retreat from the spotlight and now focus more on our home lives. It's like a big re-evaluation of our inner authority and about the validation that we need from others. So Mars in Cancer can be a bit volatile. It's about taking action based on the shifts of our mood and feelings that are not clearly thought out. So you can expect a little bit of emotional dissatisfaction in your Cancer house, because you might be pushed into action to change something in a very, very powerful way, to like restart or innovate Mars something. And that something depends on the house where your Mars resides right now. And that will like be activated, this change, by like an emotional trigger, even possibly a bit of anger. But I guess when you don't lose yourself too much in the emotional side of things, that the results can be very, very positive. So let's start with Aries. And if you don't know your exact birth, your exact rising sign, you can type in your birth details and find out. So you can like first listen to your rising sign, then your sun sign. And I would definitely also look at your moon sign, because Cancer is the sign of the moon. So all three are important. So let's just start with Aries. And how are you doing, my dear fellow Aries? I have to say, whenever Mars was in my fifth house, and it's now jumping to the fourth house, the fifth house is our romance, it's love, it's our children and our creative projects. We could feel like there has been a shift in that in the month of December, and I like really, really noticed that, because in the whole month of December, I took so many pictures. I edited all my pictures like a maniac, and I had like this incredible creative boost. And I was like not expecting that, because normally whenever Mars goes back and slows down, you like it's possible to lose the creativity. But for me, it was like a long time ago that I've like actually took photos and edited a lot of stuff, and it gave me like a lot of time to really dive into that again. So I really like revived an old passionate creative project of mine, and I'm like really, really happy and grateful for that. So now Mars will jump into the fourth house, and it puts the focus on home and family, on our roots and our emotions. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this Mars into the fourth house, it is going to be more difficult for us than in the fifth house. Because in the fifth house, it was still in a fire sign. We love fire, we are fire, so that went well. But now that it's going to jump back to the fourth house, it can be a little bit more irritatable for us, because the fourth house is a very, very deep emotional house. And now it's like a good time to take a closer look at family dynamics and underlying issues, and talk about them with a lot of empathy and emotional understanding. Because something that can help with that is also to like declutter and to like really clean your space at home. Declutter your living area, because if you're gonna do that, you're gonna like add more space to your emotions as well. Like whenever I clean and do very, very big declutter, I always feel like I have more space in my head. So that is like a very, very good way to deal with this energy right now. So yeah, cleaning out your space can like really feel like an emotional release during this time. And by adding more space in your home, you can feel like you have more space in your head. It can also like help to lessen the conflicts in your home situation. So it's a very good time to have like a closet sale, or to hand things out that you don't use anymore, to people who are maybe more in need of that. So if you help other people to make them feel safe and secure in their safe space, that will like positively reflect back to you, and will also make you feel more emotionally recharged. And Mars rules us. So family dynamics could like really, really force us to like identify and express ourselves in like a different way, and be a bit careful not to drag down into family conflicts. And some Arises of you I know will get like more easily triggered by their mom, because that's also part of the fourth house. The fourth house is the mom. And Mars also rules your eighth house. So family dynamics could like really, really trigger some old wounds or old childhood traumas. And it's like a good time to look at your upbringing and how that affects your emotional state and the way you express yourself. And if you do that, some big healing can take place in that area. So Mars is normally very, very quick. So these issues can be healed in a very fast way because of the speed of Mars. But of course, with this retrograde motion, it can take a little bit longer than usual. So don't pressure yourself, just give it time and take it step by step. Maybe something gets going again, and it can be a little bit of up and down, back and forth between that. So really don't pressure yourself, and work on your self-love. And don't be angry with your mom if you feel frustrated by anyone in your family. It is asking you to take a closer look at yourself and how you deal with the family system. So, and if you feel a little bit more emotional than usual, just know that it is normal, and that it is like Mars hot burnt energy that is now dancing through your fourth house of deep emotions. So give yourself time to rest, and really give yourself time to feel your emotions, because that's going to be a big one for Aries right now until the end of February. So good luck, my dear Aries. And Laura says, Whoa, just pulled the retrograde review astro card, lol. That's funny. And oh my gosh, yes, and big decluttering mood. Yeah, I've been feeling the same vibe. It's like since a few days ago, I've been opening my closet and I feel like, oh, this can go, this can go. I just like need more space to breathe, like. And Claudia says, welcome back, Astrid. I hope you have a great trip. Happy New Year's. Thank you so much, Claudia. I'm wishing you a very, very happy New Year's as well. And Laura says, no wonder I'm thinking a lot of my mother. Yes, it's like really, really triggering all the issues from your childhood, but also the positive things, because Mars can also mean directing more energy into the fourth house of family. So maybe you want to undertake more action within regards to your family. So yes, it's a very, very stimulating energy in our fourth house right now. So good luck, my fellow Aries. The next one is Taurus. You will have Mars jumping from your fourth house of family to your third house of communication. So the focus shifts from family dynamics to your thinking, your siblings, your local or immediate environment. The third house also rules writing, but also vehicles. So be a bit more mindful on the road, because Mars also rules accidents. And because with this new moon that we're gonna have, full moon that we're gonna have on the 13th of January, that gets like triggered extra. So be a bit more mindful during this time. And Mars is Lord of your seventh house, so it's about how you communicate in relationships. And that can be like a very, very big one in the next couple of months. It's going to be like a testing ground, so prepare yourself for that. And because Mars also rules your 12th house, the house of the subconscious, a very spiritual, private house, it's like about your unconscious or subconscious reactions to other people. So some conflicts with other people can give you like more information about these subconscious issues. And these conflicts will most likely manifest in the area of your partner, your seventh house, because that's ruled by Scorpio, belongs to Mars as well. But also with your neighbors, the third house, or your siblings, that's also part of the third house. So try to like really talk in a calm manner and really reassess your communication style during this time. Really think before you speak, because like your inner frustration might come out in the areas of short distance travel, third house, being on the road, or like talking to your partner. And if you're struggling to do that, it's a good time to consult someone like a therapist or an astrologer, as Mars also rules your seventh house. So it's maybe a good time to ask or to try to find some sort of counsel. Because Mars in the third house of the mind can be a little bit conflictive thoughts as well. And these people of counsel will give you like deeper insights into what's subconsciously bothering you. So 12th house is also the house of retreat. So good time to retreat a bit and to dive deep into what motivates you to speak and the way you communicate. And because the 12th house is also part of the spiritual practices, take time to dive deep into that, because they will like soften your communication style. This will have like a very, very positive effect on your relationships, as Mars rules your seventh house of marriage and business partnerships as well. That can like really smooth things over if you like meditate, retreat, and dive deep into your subconscious. And also be a bit mindful that all these people will trigger you during this time, because they like subconsciously want to get a reaction from you. So speak up for yourself, but do it in a very, very compassionate way. Good luck, my dear Taurus. Next one is Gemini. Your Mars is gonna jump from your third to your second house. So the focus shifts from communication from communication, siblings, your immediate environment, to your second house of income, money, possessions, personal values, and self-esteem. So this time it's about reassessing what makes you feel secure and what makes you feel safe, and it's going to be like an extra biggie one for you, because yeah, the second house is all about what makes us feel like the things we own, and then the sign of Cancer, what makes us secure. So for you, it's very tightly bound to each other. So it is not a good time to like overspend, as it will like cause further issues down the road. So watch out for like buying things impulsively because of emotional unrest. And don't make any emotional decision in regards to your finances during this time. Instead, try to build like emotional resilience and try to like disconnect the security and the things you own, and like put a focus on strengthening your finances during this time, and really spend less, because with Mars retro in your second house, it could lead to some losses or some decrease in your income. And these losses can be found in the sixth house, as Mars rules that house. And your sixth house is work, job, health, and pets. So it's wise to maybe save some money in case you need to like cut back on hours, or maybe some money is needed for your health. And if you have been spending a lot of money on your health, this could like signify a decrease in that. So it could like work vice versa, depending on your personal chart. And Mars also rules your 11th house of friends and goals and aspirations, dreams. That's all part of the 11th house. So maybe this could be like you need to spend less in those areas. It's maybe best to not go shopping with your girls if you feel like emotional unrest, because that will like result in a very expensive afternoon for sure. So financial goals could change, and this is like a good time to save money, to invest it for the long term, and to like really spend less during this time. So good luck, my dear Geminis. The next one is Cancer. Mars goes from your second to your first house. So the focus shifts from money to your self expression and identity. And Mars does not like to be in Cancer, but it does like to be in the first house. So a big focus on self reflection and how your emotions like shape your identity. And with the retrograde, you might feel like less assertive, and more emotional, reactive. Of course, Mars in Cancer, it is your sign. It is a very, very big one for you. So, yeah, a lot of Cancers during this period can have the feeling like their emotional needs are not being met. And this could like manifest or could be like connected in the area of your job, because Mars rules your 10th house of career, or like who you are in the outside world. With Mars ruling your reputation and career, there could be some combativeness in regards to that. But the 10th house is also your boss is found there. So a boss could feel, or a boss could be more competitive and push your buttons, or someone who has some kind of authority over you will trigger you during this time to like self-assert you in a healthy way, and to not like completely explode and have like a big emotional outburst. It's going to be like a bit of a testing ground for you during this time. And Mars also rules your fifth house of children, romance, creative projects. So try to avoid conflicts with children. Or maybe, on the other hand, maybe a conflict arises and you will need to like fight for your children to protect them. That's also one of the possibilities with this transit. There is a big, big possibility that the mama bear energy gets released here in a very, very big way. But the fifth house also rules dating and attraction, and a big shift could occur in these areas as well. And because Mars goes back, maybe a man from the past comes back into your life during this time. And the fifth and the 10th house are also about being self-employed. So maybe you're starting to think about something in that area. Maybe you want to start a new project, and that new project can be launched in the spring whenever the retrograde is over. So don't try to start big things now, because they will need a long time to like fully flourish. It's better to like wait a little bit longer. Um, So Mars in your sign, ruling your 10th house, could lead to like a very, very big shift in how you express yourself in your career and in the outside world, and be mindful of reacting too emotionally in those areas, because that will be like big, big trigger points. So good luck, my dear Cancer. The next one is Leo. And for Leos, of course, this is a big shift because Mars is going to shift from your sign back into the 12th house. And the 12th house is our subconscious house. It's the house of dreams, spirituality, very private house. It's about solitude, about final endings, and about the astral realms. So, very, very special house, the 12th house. And for you, my dear Leos, it could feel a little bit more isolating than during the month of December. Could feel like you need a break from your daily habits, a need to retreat and reflect more. And if you lose a bit of your motivation during this time, just know that's normal. Take some extra rest if you feel tired. But it is a very good time to dig deep into what subconsciously motivates you. And there could be some troubles popping up in the area of your dreams, how you sleep, your pattern of sleep as well. And the restful sleep could feel a little bit harder to obtain during this time. It could feel like you wake up and you still feel tired. So it's best to like retreat a little bit into your inner world and like engage in spiritual practices that support your healing process during this time. So everything in regards to meditation, therapy, past life regression, hypnotherapy, and all other healing methods can be very, very helpful for you guys. Very good time to let go of past emotional baggage, and there can be some very, very big insights coming through dreams as well. And as Mars rules your 4th house, some Leos might feel the need to distance themselves a little bit from their family. The mother figure could also be like an extra trigger during this time. And Mars also rules your 9th house. So 9th house is also part of spirituality. So yeah, with Mars in the 12th ruling your 9th, it's like spirituality takes center stage during this time. And a lot of things you struggle with can be fixed by looking at it from like a higher perspective. It's a very good time to like inject a lot of your drive and your energy into gaining more wisdom. A spiritual course could be very, very rewarding right now and could like really shift your beliefs around your family and your home. Or it could like explain and give insights into your upbringing and how that has like affected you until this day. And because the 4th house deals with your roommate or someone you're living with together, it's also about your place of residence. Leos are retreating, I think, to like think about where they want to live in the future, 9th house. So maybe some Leos will want to move to another country because that's also part of 9th house, foreign countries, long distance travel. But I really, really advise you to like not make any impulsive decisions before the retrograde is over, because some things might need to be adjusted. Some things still are not clear yet with Mars in your 12th house, and there can be some like illusions going on right now, and they need to be like looked at in regards to your living situation. So illusions in regards to your living situation. And maybe some subconscious fears need to be worked out before you can like make a very clear decision on the matter. But after the retrograde is over, you will have like a way more clear understanding about where you want to live and who you want to share your living space with together as well. So good luck, my dear Leos. And Lakeside Laura says astrology is so amazingly accurate. Yes, it really still blows my mind as well. Sometimes I need to look twice or 3 times before it like really sinks through, because it's unreal. It's a beautiful clock of the universe. So the next one is Virgo. My dear Virgos, take a breath because Mars is going to shift from your 12th house to your 11th house. It's from the house of spirituality and isolation to the house of friendship, goals, and dreams. So the month of December could have felt very isolating, actually, even already from November. October, November, December could have felt very, very isolating. And this isolation is about to end now. Because December could have felt quite lonely, but now it's time to reconnect with your friends, the 11th house. So more time for socializing. And it's like time to call your friends and tell them what's been going on in your life. So a big reassessment of the emotional quality of your friendships as well. Time to look at big groups of people that you connect with, and if they like fulfill your emotional needs. Because some group dynamics will need to be addressed, and try not to be too emotionally reactive to your friends right now. Or maybe your friends are a bit more emotionally reactive towards you. If that happens, now you know why. And under this transit, maybe some friendships might end because the retrograde period gives you like more insight in how emotionally available your friends are to you. And maybe you had a very hard time in December, and when you had to retreat, and now you have like more insights into how much your friends truly care about you, or how emotionally available they were to you during the hard times. But friends will definitely have like a bigger impact on your emotional well-being during this time. And friends from the past can also come back into your life with this retrograde motion. So I do expect a lot of reunions and reconnections for you, Virgo. And Mars also rules your third house of communication and stimulates that into the 11th house of friendship. So be very mindful about how you communicate to your friends. And some friends might trigger you because Mars also rules your eighth house of deep transformation. So some friends might like really trigger some past trauma in order for you to like heal it. Yeah, Mars ruling your eighth house of deep transformation can be a bit more of a tricky one, even though Mars likes to be in the eighth house, but it could feel like quite intense. And as Virgo, I'm a Virgo rising. Don't be too critical on your friends, and try to smooth things over with compassion and understanding whenever they like open up and want to have a conversation with you. Third house, also ruled by Mars. So good luck, my dear Virgos. And Stain says, our universe is the potter's wheel of our existence. Yes, Stain, you're totally right. That's beautifully said. Thank you. So, my dear Libras, Mars is going to jump from your 11th house to your 10th house. So, the focus shifts from your friends and groups of people, your goals and aspirations, towards your career, your social standing, your public recognition, and authority figures. So Mars in the 10th will give you like a big reevaluation of your career and how you are being perceived by people in the outside world. If you feel a bit stuck or unmotivated in those areas, just know it's normal during this time. And emotions have like a bigger impact on your career right now. So don't make impulsive emotional decisions in regards to your job. Take time to take a step back and reflect on how you want to like proceed your career whenever the retrograde motion is over. But it's not very wise to now quit your job and start another one, because it could actually create even more frustration. So take time to ask yourself if you like your job is still fulfilling your emotional needs, and if some changes need to be made in that area. And yeah, if you are too hasty and too conflictive in that area, that can definitely create some conflict around your reputation, and definitely with a boss. Because yeah, expect your boss to be way more emotionally reactive towards you. They can be a big trigger, and they can like show you where you need to make changes and where you need to adapt, or what needs to shift. And it's not the best time to go on the attack towards your boss. This energy is very good to defend yourself against authority figures. And be mindful that people in authority can be a bit of pain in the ass right now. So be like extra polite to people who have some kind of power over you, or for example, to the police whenever they pull you over. You never know, because they will be more emotional towards you. But it's a good time to solve like old conflicts with people in authority, and look at setbacks that you had to go through in your career, and look what you can learn from that. And Mars rules your second house of income, of money, and also your seventh house of relationships. So it's like a big rethinking and reassessment of your money situation and the people that you work with together. Can also be about your partner and how your partner impacts your reputation, career, and money as well. And something big can shift in that. So good luck, my dear Libras. And hey, Barno, hope you're doing well. I still need to answer your email. I will get back to you ASAP. So, my dear Scorpios, Mars is going to jump back from the 10th to the ninth house. So your focus shifts from your career, reputation, to your higher education, travel, philosophy, your beliefs, and your look on the future. And Scorpios, for you, I know it's not been an easy time, as both of your chart rulers are actually opposite each other, creating a lot of tension in your career and in your home situation. And I think now with Mars going back to your ninth house, that is going to give you a little bit more of a rest, because Mars will jump into a water sign, and that will be nicer to your water Scorpio sun. So yeah, a lot of tension, and career is putting like a strain on your home situation, or vice versa. But luckily, now that it's going to jump into a water sign, things will get easier. So the ninth house is like the house of higher education, philosophy, long distance travel as well. Just be mindful that all these themes are getting slowed down right now. So all these areas in your life, you could feel like slowing down, and you need to be a bit more patient about these topics, and you need to like learn about how your beliefs impact you emotionally. That's going to be a very big one for the Scorpios. And maybe not the best time to go on a long distance trip, because there can be some delays. But if you do decide to do that, it's like best to go back to a place that you've been before, to like lessen the effects of the retrograde motion. And the ninth house is also about teachers, gurus, mentors. It's a good time to reconnect with such people from the past. They can like come back into your life right now. It's also a very good time to take a new class, or to finish a course from the past, or like revisit it, because new classes will need more time to like fully implement and get like completed, and that can also give some type of frustration. But there can also be like some irritation found in your spiritual beliefs, and it might be like a good time to take a closer look at that and make some adjustments in those belief systems, because this transit will make you like grow spiritually, and shift your perspective about your belief system. So it will like show you how some conflicts are affecting your spirituality, and how your spirituality then affects your home and your career as well. So take take a closer look at these beliefs, and how you can like change or adapt in these areas. And if you shift certain belief systems, this can like really impact your health and your daily routine, as Mars rules that area here in your chart. And be very mindful about too much stress. Because yeah, with Mars ruling your sixth house, and of course also you will be more sensitive to stress, and it's gonna come forth from your home and your career, and some conflicts that are messing up certain beliefs in your mind, and also are disturbing your look on the future. So slow down, take a deep breath, relook, look at everything and try to eliminate stress as much as possible. So good luck, my dear Scorpios. The next one is Sagittarius, and Mars is going to jump back from your ninth house of belief, spirituality, philosophy to your eighth house of deep transformation. And Mars likes to be in the eighth house of intimacy, joint resources, deep healing, life and death. It's like big rebirth. But still, it is like in a sign that doesn't correlate well to your sun, moon, or rising sign. So still, it can create a bit of tension. And be very, very careful because the eighth house is a financial house. So take extra caution with debts, spending, lending. All these things will need to slow down a bit with Mars here now. But on the other side, it's like a very good time for therapy, for healing and releasing old wounds. It can be a very, very sensitive placement for your soul because our soul is found in the 12th and the 8th house. And Mars, this hot burnt energy triggering there can be a little bit of uncomfortable. And yeah, Mars is going to trigger that in a very deep and profound way, but it does that because it wants to heal things very quickly. And Mars's speed, normally it acts fast. So past trauma can be quickly triggered during this time in order to get like released from the body. Just know with the retrograde motion that you need to take extra time in order for it to like fully heal. So you can get quickly triggered, but take time to like heal it. And yeah, it's gonna have like an extra emphasis on you because Mars rules also your 12th house of the subconscious and your 5th house of romance. So expect like past life or past this life issues and traumas in regards to like romance or children to pop up during this time. So lingering subconscious issues will come up in order for you to look more closely at it and be able to like fully heal them. But it could feel very, very uncomfortable. It's very good time to reevaluate childhood wounds, and fears around intimacy can be worked out with the help of a therapist right now. But yeah, very mindful that everything financially can be slowed down right now. So everything in regards to joint resources, insurance, loans, all these type of things, you will, if you're like waiting on some type of money, maybe you will need to wait until the retrograde period is over. And if you want to get like a loan, it can take some more time to get the money you want or need. And very, very mindful, be very mindful about borrowing, lending, investing, because Mars can create some losses in the 8th house of money from others. So also be sure to like tell or warn your partner to be like extra careful and take some extra time on these matters as well, because the losses of money could also happen through other people because it's the house of other people's money. So good luck, my dear Sagittarius. And Barno says, feeling uncomfortable, rebirth coming, feel it. Yes, I totally understand it. Yeah, it's already busy right now. Mars jumped into Cancer for some parts of the world on the 5th, for us on the 6th, because I know Barno, you live close by. So yeah, it's full on going right now. So good luck, my dear Sagittarius. The next one is Capricorn. Mars goes from your 8th house of deep transformation to your 7th house of relationships. As a Capricorn, Mars in Cancer is in your opposite sign. So yeah, other people could like really create some sort of opposition in your life during this time. And relationships from the past can also come back now to be like reevaluated or reassessed. Or yeah, they can like undergo a very big change right now. And old conflicts can also pop up in your current relationship in order to get worked out. And things could be related to October, November as well. And all partnerships, all relationships, is business, marriage, all are affected right now. So there can be some issues due to like emotional combativeness, and they need to be like looked at right now. I know Mars in the seventh is not very, very easy. Definitely, because Mars rules your fourth house of home and family. So issues related to your family, to your mother, your property could like really affect your marriage or vice versa. Try not to fight over real estate or about the place you want to live, because all these matters will need some more time right now. And there could be some conflicts with roommates or family members or your partner about your place of residence, and all these issues need to be like looked at with great compassion and understanding, because Mars in the seventh can give like a lot of stress regarding your relationship. And of course this will like affect the family or the home or the place where you live. And I do fear that some Capricorns will get a divorce under this transit, and they will need to sell their home under this transit. Because the seventh house also deals with legal issues, and these things could like linger until the retrograde period is over. And definitely because there's going to be a lot of things happening into your fourth house in 2025. For Capricorns, there's going to be a very, very big change in regards to their residence or connected to their family this year. And it's also important to like negotiate very wisely and not to fully like explode with Mars in your seventh house, or maybe someone else is going to explode towards you. So even if other people blow up, just let them be, give it time, and negotiate again when things calm down. I think that will be a very important topic for Capricorns. So good luck, my dear Capricorns. The next one is Aquarius. Aquarius, Mars shifts from your seventh house of partnerships to your sixth house of job, of daily habits, your routines, and your health. So in December, you had like Mars in your seventh house of relationships, and a lot of frustrations from that time can like now affect your health. So pay extra attention to stress related health issues right now. Really found an outlet to release these energies and do it like in a constructive way. For example, it would be a good time to go to the gym, but also be a bit more mindful and careful about burnout as well, because Mars is your energy and it's slowing down due to the retrograde motion. So if you feel unmotivated at work, just know it's the retrograde motion. And the sixth house is also ruled by your colleagues, your pets. So yeah, your colleagues could be more emotional, reactive towards you, and your job duties could feel like they're like too much for you right now. And if it gets too bad, it can like result in digestive issues. Also, digestive issues with your pets is something to be mindful about or to look out for. And maybe something needs to be like changed in your daily routine to eliminate too much stress. I think it's going to be necessary under this transit. So Aquarius, really take time to like relax, meditate, sleep, go to the spa, everything that gets your mind off of stress, and really try to implement that and make it a daily routine, because that will like lessen or dampen the harsh effects of this Mars in your sixth house. And because Mars rules your third house of the mind and of communication, you could feel like more stressful thoughts. Yeah, your mind will be more palpable or more stressed out. Stressful thoughts can pop up, and the best thing that you can do for that is to find something that really relaxes you, to really take your mind off of things, make more time for peace. Otherwise, it can come out in a very harsh communication, because third house is our communication style. So if we don't take care of our health, we feel too stressful, it will end up in violent words, because it rules your third house. And your emotional state will like influence your productivity in a very, very big way. And because Mars also rules your 10th house of career, it's very, very important to not get overworked right now. It's really time to slow down, take extra care of your health. And then this period will feel less intense for you. So hopefully you can like get a massage or do something fun, because don't get stressed out about work related topics right now. So good luck, my dear Aquarius. The next one is Pisces. Oh, my dear Pisces. I think for you this is quite cool, because Mars moves from your sixth house of job and health into your fifth house of romance, children, and creativity. So that's actually very good news for Pisces, because it's in a fellow water sign. So it's like a very, very, it's a better placement than in the sixth house for you guys. So I'm excited for you. And Mars will give you like more time to think about fifth house things. And that is like fun. That is one of the main things of the fifth house. It's love, romance, children, creative projects, and fun. So December could have felt a little bit rough on your health and your stress levels. And now it's like time to take a closer look on how you can like implement more fun during this time. And it's also a very good time to like revisit old creative projects and finish them. And because the fifth house is also about romance, old lovers from the past can come back. And maybe if you haven't seen your child in a while, they can come over to visit you. Be extra careful about conflicts with your children, because both of you can like feel more emotionally reactive towards each other. So there can be like some tensions between your emotional needs and the emotional needs of your children being met. That's like the only thing I see for Pisces that can be a little bit of tension. Maybe also a little bit of frustration from the past into your love or romantic attraction right now. That can also happen. But Mars rules your second house of money. Maybe a child, fifth house, needs more help financially, second house. And maybe there is some tension between lovers about that as well. Or the same applies for your romantic lover. Maybe he needs more help financially. But the fifth house is also about your hobbies. So there's like a very big reevaluation. It's like reevaluating costs for your hobbies, your children, your romantic partners, and your creative projects. And Mars also rules your ninth house of long distance travel. So it's like a good time to think maybe where you want to travel this year and how much you can spend on that. And maybe it's going to be together with your romantic lover or your children. But it can also be about school, education, books, classes for your kids, or maybe for yourself. Maybe you want to take a creative class as well. So really put your focus on the things that you love doing with this Mars retrograde in your fifth house. You get like extra time from the universe to like really get things going again from the past that you really, really loved. So the fifth house is also about your inner child. So something beautiful can like really emerge whenever the retrograde period is over by the end of February, especially if you succeed into connecting with your inner child during this time. So just ask yourself, what did I love doing when I was a kid? And yeah, reignite that. Put in, it can be like some passion can be like injected into that as well, again as well. So yes, I think that was it. I'm very happy to like see you all again, and it was like a very, very big assignment to do this back in English, because the past 4 weeks I have been talking mostly in French. So sometimes I was gonna start in French. So yeah, it was like yeah, I'm like adapting, and I'm like my mind is still functioning on African time. So I'm very happy that you were all here, and I'm very happy to see you all again. And the cosmos is saying Happy New Year. I wish you the same. I hope all your wishes come true this year, because 2025 will be an unbelievably crazy year. And I will maybe do a video about all the transits that are going to happen in 2025. But March and April will be very, very, very significant. And I will talk more about that later. And my next video is going to be about the moon in Cancer. It's going to be conjunct Mars. It's going to highlight all the things I just said, and I'm going to dive deeper into them whenever we have the full moon coming up on the 13th of January, because then the whole Mars retrograde in Cancer will like really get ignited. So this was like the top of the iceberg, and I will see you back for my full moon in Cancer video later this week. So I'm wishing you all a very pleasant week, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.